Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Naruto Was a Reincarnation of Deadpool, Part 4. Now, I know it's been a while. I've barely been uploading on my main channel. I know some people went to my second channel to literally say, go fucking upload on your first channel. Not really in those, like, words, but really they just ask, when am I gonna upload on my first channel? Now, I should really start uploading on my first channel. I know I've been kind of neglecting it, like mostly any other What If YouTuber, except for Anime King. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you think about it, some people do actually kind of forget that they have channels. But yeah, and that's exactly what me. Kind of. Okay, I don't forget it. I do remember it. It's just sometimes I don't feel like actually recording at all. But yeah, this whole week, mostly the whole week of this today, or not this week, mostly last week and this week or whatever, or not this weekend that's coming, or week is coming, because this week that's coming is going to be an icy fucking winter for where I live. You know, I do not live in Mexico, so don't. I live in America. I never mention my state because I don't want anyone to know about it. All you gotta know is I do not live in Ohio. Literally, I don't think my state is even, or mostly, yeah, I don't think my state is even close to Ohio. I'm closer to Texas, if you want to think about it like that. And Texas, goddamn, their laws are weird. Literally weird for me. What kind of? Not the point, I'm rambling on way too damn much. This is not the second channel that I ram on. But let me just begin into this what if. This is where someone smashes to a door and says, 12 days? Well, I mean, it's better than 2 months, but still, 12 days? Did you forget about my Did you forget about my water? He starts crying, mostly a guy with red spandex. Or yellow spandex, mostly. Just to work well. I look at him, and I just ignore him. But he just keeps crying in the background. This is where, well, I look at him and says, no, I did not forget about your what if. Don't worry, it's going to end next part. Wait, what? He says. This is where, well, I looked away. Of course, this is where I first says 2 words. Dimensional barrier. This is where a dimensional barrier appears around me, right now blocking this Hispanic guy from not getting near me or even be able to talk to me. So, let me begin into this what if. This is where, well, we go into, well, not a recap because this hasn't been, what's it called, a month at all. It's been 12 days, but yeah. We begin into a yellow spandex right now fighting against the new host of the Nine Tails. The new host of the Nine Tails is this emotionless kid who looks to be 9 years, well, not 9 years, looks to be 12 years old, well, mostly 12 years old versus someone who's already like 18 years old. This is where, well, Naruto is actually 18 years old. Did I say he was 18 years old? Fuck, I can't remember. It's because when I kind of watched rewatched the What If, I kind of watched it like 2 days ago. So, of course, I can't barely remember. So, I'm going to just say he's already 18. Of course, well, this Naruto is right now dodging swings left, right, down, up, down, and even dodging tail swings from the Nutrient Jerky. The Nutrient Jerky of the Nine Tails. Of course, this person has a purple cloak instead of being a normal red cloak of like the Nine Tails. This is where, well, Naruto just has to dodge, but he's still shooting bullets left and right, straight towards the person. The person gets shot multiple times, but of course, this is where his regeneration is very strong. He rushes at Naruto, trying to claw at him. This is where Naruto dodges, pulls out his sword, and cuts off one of his arms. One of his, well, mostly, yeah, arms. This is where the creature is right now roaring. Right now, it's no longer a human kid, but an actual creature. This is where, well, the yellow spandex person looks into the screen and says, remember, guys, when you see a creature like this, you better be blasting him with the holy sauce. This is where he pulls out 2, well, what's it called? 2 revolvers, but they look kind of different. They literally has a cross on them, and it's kind of like silver mostly silver, but like in the what's it called, in the end of their barrel, it's kind of gold. And of course, mostly the side of what's it called, the gun has two crosses kind of flowing down, like mostly like hanging from the gun. And of course, where he starts just blasting, well, what's it called, the kid. This is where, well, the kid is screaming because of the holy bullets they are. Yes, they are actually covered up with what's it called, holy, like holy, what's it called, mostly blessings on the bullets. This is where, well, he's blasting, well, the kid with just so much holy bullets. This is where, well, bang, bang, bang. This is where, well, Naruto is kind of saying bang, bang, bang also because, yeah, this is where, well, he just keeps shooting left, right, mostly blasting this kid. This kid is screaming in pain right now since he is he is the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, and the Nine-Tails is kind of taking control of Shinkai. Pretty much, the Nine-Tails is somewhat like a demon, so of course, he is affected with like normal blessed weapons, like any holy things. So of course, well, he's pretty much being affected. This is where the kid is screaming. This is where the kid kind of just becomes the Nine-Tails. Literally letting out the Nine-Tails out of the cage, and literally he transformed into a big ass Nine-Tails. This is where, well, Naruto says, oh holy fuck. This is where he gets hit by the tail and right now swing and smashes into multiple trees. This is where, well, his body is right now all broken and, well, lots of bones are broken, and his arm is in his back, twisted very weird. This is where, well, his legs are kind of broken and shattered. He can barely move. And this is where, well, one of his arms still holding on with the holy gun and saying, ah, he says very to the screen, ah, help me. Holy shit, I never took something so big to me. Holy shit, that thing was big. This is where, well, he's trying to like move up and other things. Now, of course, he has what's it called, like a wooden stick stuck into his brain, mostly like pierced into his head. But yeah, this is where, well, he's saying, he's right now like making hearts, and of course, yeah, because his brain is all fucked up. But yeah, this is where, well, the Nine-Tails rushes towards, well, Naruto. Of course, this Nine-Tails, I should mention, is not having orange fur, but actually a purplish color of fur, and has a Sharingan right now attached to his eye. This is where, or mostly in his eyes. This is where, well, it's being mind controlled, but yeah. This is where, well, the Nine-Tails then sent its claw straight down towards Naruto, smashing his hand, destroying everything underneath that was around Naruto. This is where Naruto, he is being crushed left, right, down, stomped, mostly attacked. But this is where something happens. This is where, well, someone kind of screams out. This is where something screams out, yo, fool! Right now, clocks, well, the Nine-Tails in the, what's it called, chin. Right now, launching him up in the air. This is where, well, what appears was none other than a kind of tail beast with 8 tails, but he looked like an octopus. And mostly an ox, but yeah. This is none other than Killer Bee saying, what's good, fool? Because Naruto was close to, well, mostly he was still kind of getting out of the Cloud Village kind of territory. But of course, well, he was kind of still close enough for it. So mostly the 8 tails and mostly the Cloud Village realized that the 9 tails were kind of in their territory. So of course, where, well, Killer Bee's out here kind of fighting against the Nine-Tails, realizing that war might start. So of course, he is shocked to believe that Leaf Village is crazy enough to send, well, Clarity and the Nine-Tails and try to attack the, what's it called, Cloud Village. This is where, well, Killer Bee says, "What's good, fool? Why are you here trying to attack us? You, what's it called, furball?" This is where, well, the ox mostly with what's it called, Killer Bee says, You should really not try to antagonize him. The Naruto is still very powerful. I don't know why he's here. This is where, well, Naruto, he gets his stick, mostly like the stick ripped out of his brain, like someone just ripped it out of his head. And this is where Naruto gets back to normal and says, oh, what the hell just happened? This is where, well, mostly who actually appears like right over him is none other than what's it called, the Raikage himself. His name is A. This is where, well, Ayo says, oh, if it isn't you, Deadpool, What the hell been happening? And why is the Ninetales here? And so where? Well, Deadpool says, "Okay, I am. I was fighting in some Almus, I want to say, when I was actually being attacked by Almus from the Leaf Village, and then this guy just said his name was 0101, something like that. And so I just decided to start blasting, and he then transformed into this. I don't know what the hell that is. This is where, well, the Raikage says, have you been living under a rock? Do you not know what that is? No. This is where, well, the Raikage says, that's a mostly the Ninetales, basic Jinchuriki. This is where, well, Deadpool says, what? The Raikage says, I don't have time to explain this. Just know that we need to get rid of him out of the, what's it called, near territory. And I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna milk this all for his words against the Leaf Village. Those little son of a bitches, loving tree motherfuckers. I'm gonna milk them for all their fucking worth. For daring to send the Ninetales straight towards us. That's the word, well, of course, this is where the Raikage isn't really paying attention to his purple fur. But of course he doesn't give a fuck. He knows that the Ninetales is held by the Leaf Village. He's going to milk them for all it's goddamn worth. But yeah, this is where, well, or mostly take out the, what's it called, Ninetales out of the, whoever's right now in hold of control of this person. But yeah, this is where, well, Naruto says, am I gonna get paid or what? This is where, well, the Raikage says, sure. This is where, well, just try to get rid of him or try to kill the Jinchuriki host. This is where, well, Naruto says, I got this. This is where Naruto pulls out the minigun out of his cheeks. But he's not crazy enough just to pull out a regular ass minigun. This minigun is still the same similar color as a revolver, having some holy light in it. This is where it says, he says, hello to my little friend. Brrr, starts blasting the Ninetales. This is where the, mostly the Ninetales is screaming. And this is where, well, Killer B says, yo, is that the, what's it called? He says, he starts just kind of rapping, okay? He doesn't say anything. He just starts saying, he's rapping. Well, Deadpool is blasting, well, the Ninetales. The Ninetales tries to rush towards, well, mostly through the pain, rushing towards Deadpool. But this is where, well, mostly Killer Bee appears, right now punching him in the face, but still getting out of the spraying rate of what's it called, the bullets, because the Ox did tell him that it would hurt him. Those, whatever he's shooting at, well, the Ninetales hurts like a bitch, because it sees the Ninetales being hurt really bad. But yeah, this is where, well, the Ninetales, he's saying, well, mostly the Ninetales host, he starts roaring. This is where he starts making a Biju bomb. This is where, well, Naruto says, what the fuck is that? This is where, well, Killer Bee starts making his own Biju bomb to launch it at the Ninetales. This is where they both launch it, but this is where purple energy is erupting from the, what's it called, Biju bomb. When it collides with Killer Bee's Biju bomb, it explodes, making a bigger explosion, but still just kind of rips through, what's it called, well, not rips through, mostly this purplish color rips through, what's it called, the two Biju bombs and rushes towards Killer Bee. This is where Killer Bee managed to dodge, but yeah, this is where it hit some trees and literally just turned them to ash. It just melted them. This is where, well, Killer Bee says, what the hell is that, poison? That's where the Raikage says, it seems they might experiment with our Ninetales, or your Jinchuriki. Such filthy trash. This is where, well, Naruto, he pulls out 2 RPGs from his ass cheeks and legit has, well, the RPGs has, what's it called, holy crosses on them, and just starts launching them, just start blasting the Ninetales. The Ninetales is getting just exploded, but when the explosion happens, holy water just hits the Ninetales. The Ninetales is screaming out in pain, roaring, right now trying to destroy anything that's around him. This is where, well, Naruto keeps launching rockets over rockets over rockets over rockets over rockets. This is where, well, the Ninetales is just screaming, roaring, and raging. This is where, well, Naruto then says, right, my reality stone. Come on, I wish for a. He says, I wish for a giant robot with a holy sword. This is where, well, we go into a bright flash of light, and literally, Deadpool is in a bigger Deadpool, but this Deadpool has two holy swords, two katana holy swords. And this is where, well, this robot is literally being controlled by the original Naruto that's inside the head. This is where Deadpool says, mostly Naruto says, "Get ready, motherfucker. This is literally a Power Rangers reference, motherfucker. I'm about to beat your ass." Literally, he looks at the screen when he says that. This is where, well, he says, "Remember, kids, always watch Power Rangers, and also if you watch anything else, they're basically just a copy, rip-off of Power Rangers." This is where, well, he just rushes at, what's it called, the giant Ninetales. The Ninetales swings its tails at Deadpool. This is where Deadpool gets hit backwards, but this is where he swings one with his swords of mostly his katana swords, and it just rips through some of the Ninetales. This is where the Ninetales is screaming and roaring. This is where, well, Killer Bee appears right now, punching him in the head, saying, "Look over here, motherfucker." This is where, this is where, let me go back in Deadpool. Deadpool kind of gets up and right now gets and rushes towards, what's it called, well, mostly the Ninetales. The Ninetales makes a Biju bomb, sending it straight towards, what's it called, Naruto. Right now trying to fight against, what's it called, he's using his tails fighting against, what's it called, Killer Bee. The Biju bomb was about to hit Naruto until Naruto says, "Absorb!" This is where it will. The chest of the, what's it called, machine kind of makes this like black hole absorption, which it just absorbs the Biju bomb. And this is where, well, his, what's it called, energy levels on the, what's it called, robots decide to become bigger and stronger. And this is where, well, he's now moving faster. This is where, well, he swings both the swords down, stabbing into the Ninetales, right now spinning him down to the ground. The Ninetales is screaming, roaring out. This is where, well, the Ninetales is literally screaming out, roaring out. But of course, one of the swords is right now in the mostly back of the Ninetales, while one of the swords is stabbed into mostly the kind of like mouth of where the Ninetales is at. This is where the Ninetales is trying to kind of get out. This is where, well, its tails are right now trying to flap all around, trying to even hit Naruto. But this is where, well, Naruto says, what's it called? He says, "Transform arm." This is where the arm transforms into a chainsaw. This is where he says, "Holy chainsaw of," what's it called, devastation. This is where he starts just cutting down the, what's it called, tails, like if there were just wild, like, tree branches. This is where, well, Naruto's easily cutting them down. And this is where, well, he then transformed his other hand, mostly the left hand, because the right hand had a chainsaw. His left hand transforms, and this is where, well, it becomes a cannon. This is where it becomes a bigger cannon, mostly a really big cannon. This is where he says, "This is with all the power I can gather up, the holy light of fuck you." This is where, well, what's called, well, mostly the blaster of the cannon starts lighting up with this yellowish color of holy light. And this is where, well, God, boom. This is where the Ninetales is literally turning into bones. This is where, well, the host who used to have the Ninetales just died. But of course, this is where chakra is gathering up in the sky. But yeah, this is where, well, both Killer Bee and Naruto did a good job in, well, taking out the Ninetales. And this is where, well, alright, I guess say, luckily I never been fighting this kid ever again. I've never even given a shit to fighting him. He literally took out the Ninetales. This is where, they're gonna have to wait 4 years, but literally the Raikage doesn't care because he knows after the 4 years, the Ninetales is gonna appear in the Cloud Village, not at what's called the Leaf Village. So he has enough time to literally just get another Biju into his territory. And he doesn't give a fuck if the Leaf Village is angry. He will rather send Deadpool to wipe them all out by literally waiting to get lots of more money to pay with Deadpool. But yeah, this is where, well, the giant robot started kind of, well, it's right now frozen still, like up in the air, or mostly just standing still right now with this pose of like hand on crotch, and of course having a giant L on the forehead right now, kind of having one leg forward, like on top of the Ninetales kind of like bones, mostly his right leg, and then his like left leg behind him. This is where, well, he just kind of puts the pose before the robot kind of like stops moving because it has no more energy. So of course Deadpool exits out and just kind of walks out, just happy. This is where he is happy. So of course where he says, remember kids, if you ever join a giant robot and decide to fight against kaijus, just remember, always stomp on them with the mostly beat their ass, and then after you win, do an amazing pose just like I did. Bless America. This is where he literally puts his hand up into his head and says, God bless America. Even though he's not in, what's it called? Marvel. He's literally in the freaking 5 great nations. But yeah. This is where, Killer Bee says, what the fuck is in America? This is where, Deadpool says, oh, you don't need to know. This is where he looks at the screen and kind of puts his finger up to his head. Just remember. This is where, everyone is just, mostly Killer is confused, but yeah, he knows that Deadpool's crazy most of the time. Yeah, so where, the Reincarnation says, I know I'm gonna have to pay you and other stuff, so let's just go back to the, Cloud Village to get, your payment, and let's have a fucking drink at the same time. But of course, we go into mostly, the Cloud Village, but yeah. We go into 2 weeks later about the Leaf Village kind of worrying about no longer having the Ninetales, which Donzo did ask and did tell what's it called to find where the Ninetales will be last known at. And of course, they see a giant robot and the Ninetales bones there. This is where they realize the Ninetales doesn't have its chakra and its host must be dead. This is where when they tell Donzo's enraged. Donzo literally enraged that the Yellow Spandex Man literally managed to escape them once again and defeat the Ninetales. The one of the most powerful Bijus in the whole existence literally just got defeated by a giant robot, he guessed. But yeah, this is where, he's quite annoyed, but yeah. This is where, we go into mostly Deadpool being at a place full of known rogue monsters or villains or whatever. This is where, he's going to literally just kill the Akatsu's because, the Raikage asked him to do it because, the Akatsu's their target was called Yujito, and Yujito is still in the hospital, but yeah, pretty much, the Raikage literally puts so much money on each of the bounty heads, and anyone that's connected to the Akatsu will still have a large bounty price. So of course is where we go into our mostly anti-hero. This is where we go into the Yellow Spandex Man. This is where the Yellow Spandex Man looks at the screen and says, hey, I'm only an anti-hero in Marvel. In this world I am a hero, you can say. Sure, we'll call you that. This is where we go back into Deadpool just kind of showing up to where the Akatsu base will kind of be at because he kind of found it out after some interrogation or some friendly chat that he would like to call it. This is where, Deadpool looks at the screen and says, yeah, I gave him a friendly chat. This is where, we will not go into the specific details and what he actually did. But yeah, it was not a friendly chat. It was kind of not interrogation. In some people's words, it might be, but we were not going to that. This is where, Deadpool says, hey, fine, I'll go into it. What I give him a big, this is where, beep, 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 beep. Yeah, I will censor all that. We're not going into that. This is where Deadpool says, okay, fuck you two artists, Arthur. This is where, I look at him and said, bitch, I'm God. This is where, Deadpool says, really? If you're God, then smite me down with lightning. Okay. This is where I snap my fingers and this is where lightning literally just smashes into, what's it called? Deadpool. Deadpool's like, ow. That hurt like a bitch. He gets up and says, okay, I see. So you can definitely smite me with lightning. Fine. I want a holy sword. This is where, he now has a holy sword and he says, okay. I want a desert eagle. He now has a desert eagle out of nowhere. This is where, I keep snapping my fingers, and this is where, he says, I want some way to somehow kill you. This is where, I look at him and say, shut the fuck up. This is where, Deadpool says, okay, well, fuck, I almost tricked you with that. Fine, I'll go into, well, back into the story. And this is where I look at him, yeah, stop breaking the fourth wall and get your ass back into the story. This is where he's like, fine. This is where we go into Deadpool kind of seeing the cave. And this is where, well, he says, it's time to do. Not just kidding. Well, he says, for all, seriously, he says, well, yeah, he says it's time to do until I just smite him again with lightning. This is where, well, he says, okay, fine, I'll go. Jesus fucking Christ. This is where, well, he then goes to the, what's it called, entrance and just knocks. It's where, well, we go into the Akasi's kind of all talking. Deidara, Sasori, Itachi, Kisame, Conan, mostly, not Black Zetsu, Zetsu, Toby. This is where, well, he goes on, and of course, this is where they hear knocking, everyone just stops. This is where, well, the six paths of pain were just confused also. This is where, well, they says, what the hell is it? Until the freaking entrance exploded. What came in was none other than a tank. This tank is colored yellow. It has the Deadpool symbol mostly the side and back and also the other side. And this is where, well, in the front literally has a giant freaking drawing of a penis. This is where, he says, time to blast you motherfuckers with the holy nut. This is where he shoots out another, what's called missile, straight towards everyone, and this is where everyone realizes they have to dodge. Got boom. This is where, well, Deadpool says, damn, I missed almost all of you. Fine, I will get you all. I'll kill you all. I will win. So, of course, this is where, well, Deadpool sends another rocket straight towards him, just blasting him. And this is where everyone starts rushing towards the tank. And this is where everyone starts literally attacking it. Deidara sends bombs. This is where Sasori sends, well, fire. Itachi says Amaterasu. Kisame says water, style, shark, domain. This is where, well, Obito just watches from the sideline and even Zetsu. This is where, well, Pain says almighty push. This is where Conan sends multiple papers with explosion tags to explode it. This is where, well, the tank is no longer existent. This is where, well, they think the tank is no longer a thing until, well, Sasori's head literally just flies off his, like, shoulders. This is where, well, everyone wants their eyes, but this is where Deidara also feels like he just got stabbed in the heart. Literally super fast without anyone noticing me. They're like saying, what the fuck was that? This is where, well, Deadpool says, haha, I literally took the fucking speed and power from that one guy with the red spandex and yellow thunderbolt or whatever he has. I think his name was Flash. Fuck it. This is where he's running so fast and no one can literally catch up to him. This is where, well, Itachi is trying to calculate where he's at. But this is where, well, Itachi's eyes are literally stabbed out of his eye socket. This is where, well, we go into Kisame. Kisame just right now saying, water style, water imprisonment. This is where, well, a water prison started spreading all around to try to catch, well, Deadpool. Deadpool is now caught in the water prison. This is where, well, Kisame says, ha, now you can't escape. This is where Deadpool says, yeah, I might not be able to escape. But I saw another guy with the red spandex and also, what's it called, a thunderbolt that he had. And he had a white kind of, well, how should I say, a white cape. And I liked it a lot. Shazam! This is where lightning smashes towards, what's it called, Deadpool. And Deadpool did not become Shazam. He literally just became himself. This is where, well, the water bubble that exploded. And this is where, well, Kisame says, you mother. This is where, well, Deadpool says, whatever. He then runs straight towards the car, Kisame, and started cutting him into millions of pieces. Mostly taking his ass straight to, well, a sushi place just to cut his ass. But yeah. Pretty much Deadpool literally just became a what's it called? What's it called? Sushi? No. What am I calling? What the fuck? Sushi master, well, mostly master chef, literally cutting Kisame into tiny bits of literally sushi. But yeah, I don't know why I couldn't say sushi, but whatever. This is where, well, Deadpool then, after killing almost half of all the Akasis, this is where, well, Pain says, "Almighty push!" He tries to push, what's it called, Deadpool away. Deadpool gets pushed away, but not entirely reality. Instead he rushes towards the Six Paths of Pain, and says, what's it called? He says, right reality, time for you to become a fish. This is where we go into, well, Naruto literally becoming a fish. This is where, well, he's right now just flopping. He has what's it called, Renegons, but he's a fish. He can't do anything. This is where all the passive pain literally just falls down. This is where, well, Kona says, "No! Nagato!" This is where she sends multiple paper at what's called Deadpool, and Deadpool says, "Huh, I wish it for to rain." This is where he then uses the kind of stone that he has to literally just change the weather, and this is where, well, it starts raining. This is where Conan's confused, but this is where, well, what's it called? Deadpool starts kind of launching RPGs. He starts throwing C4 up in the ceiling, and this is where he says, "Kaboom!" This is where Conan is right now about to get crushed. Well, luckily she became paper, but she's outside, and literally her paper is becoming wet. This is where she says, "Shit, I need to go." This is where, before she goes, a sword literally stabs through her head, falling down to the ground. Deadpool says, "Good, I'm almost take all of them out. Now it's for you two." This is where Black and White Setsu says, "What should we do, Toby?" This is where, well, Toby says, "What we do is just leave." This is where, well, Deadpool says, "Oh no, you don't. Rewrite reality stone. You two turn into a bird." This is where they both turn into a bird, and this is where they're confused. But this is where Deadpool then slashes them down. Well, mostly shoot at them with a rifle, not slashing them, just shoot them down with a rifle, killing them both. This is where he says, "Good, I got rid of them. Now I'm getting paid at least $1 billion. Haha!" This is where, well, Deadpool just shows up to the Raikage, and of course, this is where Raikage decides to wait before what's it called, any information is shown. Which, when his cloud almost managed to get there, yeah, they see that, yeah, Deadpool literally massacre all of them. This is where, well, he does get paid, but this is where, well, the Raikage says, "In the near future, I'm gonna have to need your help in a little small war between the Leaf Village and the Cloud Village. Would you accept?" This is where Deadpool says, "Would I get paid?" This is where, well, Deadpool says, mostly not Deadpool, the Raikage says, "Of course you will." This is where, well, Deadpool says, "So, when would this start?" "Probably in 2 years, maybe. Give and taken." This is where, well, we go into a time skip of 2 years later. Deadpool is now 20, and of course he hasn't matured at all. But this is where, well, he's right now in his house that has, what's it called, mostly, he mostly goes and, well, he has his house, and of course he's right now walking through, what's it called, mostly a hallway. And what he has plaster on, mostly the plaster hanged up on near his walls, is 4 heads. One is called Sasuke's head. The other is basically his team. Basically, Karin, what's it called? Sugetsu, and yeah, and the others. But yeah, he basically rewrites Sugetsu, literally became tangible and literally become a tree. But yeah. So make him to become Groot or something, and easily cuts his head pretty easily. But yeah, this is where, well, sorry about yawning, but this is where, well, Deadpool says, "It's now I'm 20 or something. Well, time for that war," because he literally got a letter about a while ago about a war already starting. This is where, well, I'm going to leave it off here for, well, part 4 of this What If. Part 5 will be the end, but other than that, I'm going to end it off here. So, yeah. But, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato, and good night. How long have I done this? Oh, 34 minutes. Well, future me isn't going to hate me that much. I don't think so. Probably. But other than that, bye.